They're both bald, but Andy thinks he's not. Andy may deny it, but you know it's just lies, because they're two bald guys. Right, we're rolling. Good to meet up with you, mate. How's your week been?
It's been all right, work as
Always
is work. But I had to go to the office, my twice a month obligation.
How far away is your office?
68 miles door to door.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I usually leave early. So I'll get up at 5. I'll leave by 5:45. Because of my range of my car, I have to get to work so I can plug it in. I can charge it for free at work, but there's only 4 bays. So if I get there at 8, I ain't getting home because I don't have enough mileage left. Ridiculous. So, I get to work for like 7:15 and I'm gone by 4 at the absolute latest because I have to come back and pick up Isla from Kids Club.
Yeah.
And, they finish at 6. So left at 4, 5:30, not even on the A50.
Oh, that's a long... So
Yeah.
M6 before the
So
A50.
go A50 Utoxeter to go there. So I haven't even got to Utoxeter by this point. It's going, to save 10 minutes, please take a divert. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. Down some scary, tight country roads, in a lot of traffic. And I'm thinking, what are we going to do? Can't reverse 10 cars up a country road for like the last mile. It's going to be quite hairy, this is. So we managed to get onto the A50 and Joe's like, oh, well, you'll have to pick up Isla from Jim. So I'm like, right. She says, what time is it saying? I was like, 6:45. I left at 4.
Oh, that's not a good end to the day.
I can't tell you how many cars the dickhead in front of me let in that didn't queue for the last fucking 20 minutes. Literally, they're dropping in front of it, and I'm getting really annoyed.
The one in front of you's letting them in?
Yeah, letting them in.
No,
I was literally
Rage.
tripping his flipping parking sensors. Seriously, I was that close and getting really annoyed. And I'm like, I can understand road rage.
Yeah.
I can understand road rage. Thankfully, I've never gone that far, but I was not happy.
You can't go that far anymore. So everyone's got a dash cam. Everyone's got something that's producible later, or they get the phone out. You can't lose your shit. You can't get out your car and approach people because someone's going to have it recorded. It's different from how it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So you sit there fuming.
But if you did, and the police came and they went, I've got it on phone, could you go, well, you shouldn't be using your phone in your car, so fuck off.
Depends if it's a passenger, depends if it's... Yeah, maybe. Don't get out your car.
That's the key, just don't get out your car.
Do you ever go down the fast lane, the dickhead lane, and then try and pull in at the end?
Not as much as I used to. I think when I was a teenager, like early 20s, absolutely. I'd be that would literally be caning it down, then straight in.
Yeah.
And, people beeping and you're like, nah.
That's kind of a thing about being in your 20s, is it's kind of 2 fingers up to the world, you're all old, I know best, fuck you, don't care. That is a proper thing in your 20s, isn't it?
It is. Hence why our driving, our insurance is so high. Because, I only had my Metro for 2 weeks and I managed to go around the corner. I'm sure we've said in one of the podcasts, it went onto the side, so we had to get out of the passenger window and push it back onto 4 wheels. But, would my wife have done that at 17? Absolutely not. She wouldn't be doing handbrake turns on corners and seeing how fast you could go round a roundabout because they're more sensible than blokes.
Yeah, it's not an absolute rule, but when you look at across a large enough bit of data, you're right. You're absolutely right. We're just not very clever. But we also like pushing the boundaries, don't we? Speed limits, speed round corners, wheel spinning, handbrake turns, going absolutely nailing it over jumps and stuff like humps in the road and stuff, see if all four wheels will come off. There's no need for any of that. It's just brilliant, isn't it? But now that you know that your car's not worth 400 quid, you couldn't do it now.
This is it. My car's was 40 grand almost. And
you're not going to do that.
And I'm not going to handbrake it around. It probably wouldn't because it weighs so flipping much. But yeah, you just don't. You have more care as you get older, you know. But when I was younger, my dad would still rally his car now. You know, he hasn't grown up in that sense.
I love that.
He had a company car all of his life. So when he retired, he had no claims because it was a works policy.
Yeah.
But, he had SRI, Cavalier SRI, and how quick could you get to Manchester? Do you know that was his goal? Can I get there in an hour and a quarter? Well, it's a 2.5 hour drive, Dad. So not really. Well, I can.
Give it a go.
So, you know,
that's brilliant.
I mean, we're going back to the early 90s when there wasn't that much traffic on the road.
Or
compared to now.
Traffic enforcement, speed camera enforcements and stuff, much, much less.
Yeah, I don't think.
You didn't even have to have seatbelts.
And only one side mirror.
One side mirror, no seatbelts. Yeah. Some changes were necessary, let's be honest.
In all fairness, modern day cars are fantastic. You know, from a safety point of view, they are fantastic.
Talking about speed cameras, I've been caught speeding twice recently.
Oh, no.
I know. I went right through from 17 to 41 and I hadn't been caught once. Both times in Nottingham. Congratulations, Nottingham Constabulary. Very, very proud of you. One was on, what's it called? The 30-mile-an-hour road. It's a dual carriageway, 2 lanes, both ways, central reservation, not a built-up area, no need for it to be 30. The one coming out of Clifton into Wilford.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, I was only doing 39, I think, because everyone goes down there at 50.
Is that 30?
30 miles an hour.
I haven't been that way, so that's a good reminder because I usually do 50, 60 down there easily.
There's no need for it to be a 30 because it's not got pavements either side. There's no shops, no houses, no street lights. It's not a built-up area. There's nothing around there. It's even got banks at the side of the road that go up. Yeah. There's no need for it to be 30. But anyway, I was so glad I was only doing 39 because everyone just does 50 because it should be a 50. So that was one, which I then got to do the speed awareness course. No points. Great. Oh, and the other one was I was picking Autumn up and we came out of Clifton by Crusader and up towards the 453. Dual carriageway, it's 40 up there. And just, it's my own fault. I was just talking to her. I hadn't seen her in 2 weeks. We're catching up as I'm driving. And then I saw a van and I was like, oh, fuck. So I just took the foot off the accelerator, hit the brake, too late. So I was doing like 46 or something. Oh, no. I've only just done the speed awareness course. Can't do that again. So yeah, points. First points ever of my life. So now I'm driving like an absolute granny everywhere. Do you know how slow 30 is?
Do you know what? I'm going to knock on wood. I've never had a speeding ticket.
I never had.
One came through 2 months ago in my car. And I was like, Bulwell Top? I haven't been in my car at Bulwell Top. I was at your house. I was in the Mini. Joe was like, oh, fuck.
Was that her?
It was Joe. Because I said, I've got a speeding ticket. And she went, ha, about time you got one. Because she's had loads. She's had loads. And I said, oh, it was Saturday. I said, 10:30 in the morning. I was at Andy's. She's like, oh, fuck! That's not fair. So she had to do a speed awareness course for that.
I'll tell you another thing that we've done this week is we are now a pet owner.
I saw.
You know my view on pets. Yeah. I think anyone that has a pet is disturbed in a very disgusting way. I think every pet owner is awful. You've voluntarily got an animal in your house, which doesn't work with me. Okay, just doesn't work with me. I know you're a pet owner, but I think you're disturbed in a rather disgusting way as well.
Well, yeah, I am.
So we've now got a hamster or gerbil or mouse or something. I think it's a hamster. We built walls around us several thousand years ago to keep animals out. And then bringing one in seems very, very odd to me.
Honestly, hilarious. Because, yeah, I mean, I've had dogs. Joe and I have had dogs for at least 10 years now. At least. We've had Thomas 18 years, the cat. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be at least 18. So, we've had dogs and cats. Would I have another cat? No.
Why is that?
They're just...
You don't even know you got them.
I mean, he's out more than he's in. And he just wants food. And I'm like, great life, don't get me wrong. I get fed. I don't have to do anything for it. Fantastic. Do you know what I mean? If that was my life, it'd be like, ooh, food, TV, not have to do anything. And as Joe said, what do we get out of that? We don't get anything from him.
This is what I said. So Amy and Isabel have been trying to get me to get a pet for ages. I'm like, no. I'm like, well, what if we got a cat? You wouldn't even know you got it. I said, well, why have one then? Yeah, I suppose so. So Isabel said, oh, it's only a tenner for a hamster. And Amy was like, oh, it's only a tenner. I was like, you go to a shop and see if you spend a tenner then. So she phoned me when she was out and said, would you be really annoyed if I came back with a hamster? It made Isabel so happy. Look, I'm a father. You don't get everything you want. You've got to make your kids happy. I said, fine. Okay, make her really happy. And it has. She loves the bloody thing. But I said, I'm having no involvement. I'm not cleaning it out. I don't want any involvement in it. I've got allergies anyway, so I'm not very good with that sort of stuff. But I'm not cleaning it out. I don't want it ever smelling of piss. And it can't be in our bedroom at any point, as in the cage, because I can't breathe. It's not just allergies. I struggle to breathe. So she said, fine with all of that. I said, all right, you spend your 10 quid and come back. £95 she spent on a cage, a bowl, some hay, some bedding, a little wheel for it to run around in, a water bottle, and the hamster was only a tenner or 12 quid. But she spent 95 quid in total and came back. And I was like, did you spend your tenner? 95 quid. But yeah, it was 95 quid. Of course it was.
Plus food going forward. It's, I think the idea of pets is great. And, I don't agree with buying a dog for your daughter's, son at Christmas, because I think it's a real big decision. Getting a dog is she's lovely, always stinks. Do you know what I mean? Because she's got a tongue up her arse all the time. And but you know what I mean? It's like, no, why are you letting the dog lick your face?
Oh, that's so awful.
But I don't like that, mate. I will not let her lick me anywhere, because I'm like, I know where that tongue's been.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I've seen you in the back garden eating Thomas's shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, lovely.
This is why having pets is disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. And it's in your house. And have you seen those videos of, where the dog's got the really itchy ring and it drags its arse across the floor and there's like this brown streak behind them? You're like, we're going to have to burn the carpet now.
It happened on the sofa the other day. Yeah, she was playing with Isla and Joe. And I looked and was like, oh, there's an actual turd stain on the sofa. And as you can see, sofa is going in a month, thank the Lord. Ordered, 2 new sofas and a massive footstool as well. So, but she's not allowed up on the new sofa. We've put new rules in place, mate. We're not going to eat in the living room.
That will last a week.
It probably will. But it might make us get the proper trays. Do you know, like the beanbag thing underneath the tray?
We've got one of those.
So I don't. I just use the back of the cushion. And then you spill your spaghetti bolognese on it. Like, ooh.
Turn it over.
And then you look at your sofas and go, oh my gosh, I'm such a tramp.
Such a tramp.
So bad. Yeah. It's like the arm, because obviously I sit like this. And it's like, you've dirty this? How bad is your hands? How dirty are your hands? And I'm one of these that I will wash my hands every time I go for a piss. Yeah. Except when I'm drunk.
You'd be washing your hands every 20 minutes.
I mean, or sometimes even more regular than that, to be fair. You've been for a wing, like, ooh, actually go again.
I don't think I've finished. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do. And
the thing that pets do is they tie you down for when you want to go away.
They do.
And kennels can be as fucking expensive as your holiday.
Yeah.
But with a hamster, you pick it up and would drop the whole cage off at her mum's or something, I presume, and go, right, we're off.
Indeed, we've got the cat and the dog for Christmas to put into kennels. And I think the cat's like a tenner a day, so he's nothing really. And I think Cleo's like 20. But if you were going away for 2 weeks, it's like, got to factor in like another 400 quid here.
Some people really go over the top as well. There's some doggy kennels that are like better than the hotel you stay in.
Yeah.
And cost more than the hotel you stay in. It's like, fucking hell, why is this dog having a better fucking holiday than I am?
Well, you are right, mate. I think when the cat goes, we will not be. And I think that will be probably the same with the dog, to be quite honest. Yeah. So last week, Izzy died. Our black dog. Can you remember that nutter?
Yeah.
Yeah, she died last week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, they don't live forever.
They do live a long time, though.
Well, Izzy was only like 11, I think. Yeah. So, not really. But, I don't know. She'll probably be 40 or something like that. And I'd be like, oh, fucking 80 now, and you're still here.
Still got a dog. Dog outlives you.
I know, so... But yeah, you are right. When we didn't have the dog, we went on loads of like short breaks.
That's the one.
And stuff like that, and we didn't have to think about
spontaneous breaks.
Yeah.
Should we do that next weekend? It takes a bit more planning, doesn't it?
It does.
The other thing we've got going on at the moment is house is up for sale.
I was going to ask how it was going. To be fair, I don't enjoy the whole process. In all fairness, I think it's very intrusive when you go into the mortgage company for cash, and right, send me all your bank details, and I'm like, oh no, because you're gonna see how much I owe. Because I don't even like looking at that. Oh no, push it away. Bury my head in the sand, it's fine. And they're like, well, but that bit I absolutely hate.
You're right. That's the most embarrassing bit. Is where you go, oh, I earned this much. Now, oh, let's see your bank statement, and you realise that all of it goes out on the first of each month. That bit's really bad. When we moved into our current house, it was over 5 years ago now. I loved the whole process because we were moving up into a bigger house and a better house,
and it was your own first house together.
Exactly right, yeah, because I lived with Amy in her house for a while. But I loved looking round houses. I didn't mind selling it. I didn't mind showing people around Amy's house and stuff. Didn't mind the whole process. Quite enjoyed it, actually. Love looking around houses. This time, because we're downsizing, it's hard to fall in love with a house when it's smaller. So it's more about practicality. Because we're just trying to reduce a bit of debt, basically, because I'd like to actually live to retirement age. So trying to reduce a bit of what we owe. But because it won't be as good as our house, I love my house. It's the best house in the world. I love that house. That's
your problem. You love your house. So trying to sell it and show people around, you're like, well, I don't really want to show them around because I like it.
Exactly. We've got 3 viewings tomorrow, and Amy's going to do them.
Right.
Because I think I'll talk them out of buying it. I'll be like, no, I'm not selling. Go away. Fuck off.
Oh, yeah. Boiler's been making a bit of a rattly noise. There's a bit of water coming down that.
Yeah, I think the house has shifted a bit recently.
It's subsidence. It's a great house, though.
Yes, please buy it. But that's the thing about looking for a new house, is it's more about practicality than falling in love with it, because it's not going to be as good as your current one. So it's all... Honestly, I'm genuinely sad about it. There's points where I sort of think, what does the final day in your house, like the final night, what do you do and all that sort of stuff? The actual moving out of a house is quite an emotional thing anyway, because all the rooms are bare.
That's true.
All your stuff's out of there, and you look round it and go, I'm like, Isabel's been there since she was 4. And that's going to be tough to move. That's going to be really tough.
We will be a little bit like, but Isla was born here.
Yeah.
You know, that's different. She's been here for 6.5 years.
It's the only house she's known.
Yeah, so, I mean, at the moment, I don't think Isla would give 2 fucks, to be quite honest.
You are right.
You know, the kids just don't care, do they?
So Isabel sees all of it as an adventure. So when she comes around and looks around them, she'll be like, oh, I'd have this room. And we're like, no, that's the master room with the ensuite. She goes, I want an ensuite. I'm not having the box room, bitch.
No.
That's not your room.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't really like the house we have that. Well, we're not getting the house then, because that's not your room, okay?
No, I mean, that's what, obviously, we were going to look at doing. We're going to push the kitchen out. But, because that's where we want to be. We'd want to have that living dining room kind of experience and potentially not use the living room. But then why have you got a house with a living room? You're not going to be in your living room.
It's a nice congregation area, though, isn't it? You know, where you've got like a warm kitchen, sitting area, that sort of stuff.
Mm.
Especially if... I think I sometimes have these ideas that, we'll become like that family that cooks, and I'll cook from scratch, and it's never going to happen. We're always going to be microwave people. We're always going to have a ready meal. And like the other day, I haven't been eating that much recently, but the other day I was like, I can't be bothered. What shall I have? I had a tin of tuna for dinner. And I was like, that'll do. We don't cook from scratch.
See, we do. But because we've both been like ridiculously busy recently, I've been like, I finished literally at 5:30, exhausted. You know, because you've been on the phone all day. I've been doing emails whilst being on these meetings, and I'm just literally drained. And I'm like, I can't be asked. I literally cannot be bothered. So I'm like, fancy like a microwave curry from Co-op with, you know, some coras and stuff like that. And that's what we do. Yeah, and we did that twice last week. We've never done that, mate, because never done that. So I went shopping this morning and I'm like, right, I'll do a lasagna. That'll last a couple of days. And then I've got some chicken, so I might do like a jambalaya in the slow cooker. Yeah. And, you know, that's my week done then. And I don't have to physically think when I finish work other than flip the oven on, heat it up, done. I
do that. It's such an old lady thing, but I do batch cook. Like if I cook a chili, I cook it in the wok. And I fill it to the brim, to the point where it's difficult to stir it.
Without splashing it everywhere.
Any lava bubble that comes up just goes everywhere. Oh, shit, turn it down. Yeah. Honestly, I put so much into the chilies. Just keep pouring stuff in until it's like bloop, bloop, bloop. Yep. And then just freeze loads of it.
We've probably got 4 chilies in the freezer.
We do that because what can you have chili with? You can pour it all over some tortilla chips for nachos.
Jacket potato.
Rice. Tiger loaf with some butter on it. Perfect. Yeah. Sometimes just a bowl if you want to be carb free. Yeah, we often do that, to be fair. That's what I mean. Yeah, we do, because I've noticed that bread, I think this is where my issue is bread bloats me. Bloats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really does. You know, I get some... At work, I was at work. Gaping. I was upstairs and... I did some lengthy, you'd have been proud of, lengthy farts.
What sort of length are we talking here?
I mean, we always go like a minute, but it's not, is it, realistically? It's more like 6 seconds. And that, you know, when you count it out, 6-second fart's actually quite impressive.
It's never a minute.
I did a minute-long fart. And you're like, no,
that didn't happen.
It really didn't. So, yeah, I would say like 6 to like 10 seconds.
Oh.
It was good. I was worried towards the end because you do, don't you, get a little bit.
You don't want to be overconfident.
You don't. And
No.
But I'm at home. Yeah. So that's always a little bit more comfortable than doing it in the office.
Oh, it is. It's got to be.
Because if you shart in the office and you're in Nottingham, you're like, oh gosh, I've got an hour and a half's drive home because I've got to go and get the car and then nail it home. It's an hour and a half. You're sat, aren't you?
I mean, I'm going to go all out here and say, sharting is never a positive thing.
It's not.
worse. Worse in the office, surely.
I mean,
if you're on a day trip, the trip's over, right? You can't just go, oh, it's all right, I've just charted. Right, well, we need to leave, don't we? Clearly.
no, it's fine. That's what your boxers are for.
Yeah.
You know,
They start
do a wriggle so they
filtering.
go up between your bum cheeks and soak up the moistness.
I think we've reached the pinnacle of our conversation.